and welcome to the beautiful country of South Africa. In search for incredible wildlife encounters, we travel to a pristine wildlife hotspot near Kruger National Park. This area is teeming with the wildest animal species that you can imagine, ranging from lions, leopards, Nile crocodiles, all the way to black mambas, and this one right here.
Whoa, whoa. Snake here, come here. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Calm down. It's a Skaapsteker. Now, this one right here is a venomous species of snake. Now I tried to find like a nice stick there. Hold on to there. Now this right here is a venomous species of snake. It's actually only like semi-venomous. But still, we don't know how our body will react to the venom. Now that was like, maybe like a bite. But thankfully I'm wearing my jersey here. So, the Skaapsteker is like mildly venomous, which means the venom acts really quick on prey, but not really quick on humans. You know, so if it bites me, basically it's nothing worse than like a bee sting. But still, people can die from a bite like this. If they have like an allergic reaction to the venom, they fall in something we call an anaphylactic shock. So this is why I'm careful. I'm trying to balance it on the stick because it's a little bit defensive. You saw how it was wiggling around when I caught it. Didn't like it. Doesn't like it when I touch it. But now I'm just holding it. I'm just supporting the body there. Not like this, so squeezing. So if you look at the eyes, I think it's about to shed its skin. You can look at the eyes there. It's a little bit milky. So it's just starting probably to get milky, or maybe it's already clearing up. I'm not quite sure because I don't know anything about the history of this snake here. But usually what happens when they shed their skin, the eye becomes milky because they have like an old layer of skin over the new layer of skin, and in between there's like a fluid. So and from there they will shed their skin in one piece, usually starting with their head. So they rub their head on something and then the skin comes off in one piece. The reason why they shed their skin, number one, is in order to grow. So their skin is made out of the same material as our fingernails or hair. So very hard material. If you touch your fingernails, it's incredibly hard. Even your hair, it's really hard. You can't really pull it. It's not elastic at all. So if a snake wants to grow, they need to shed their skin. And number two, they shed their skin in order to get rid of external parasites. So for example, ticks, you know, they're oftentimes found on snakes because in between these scales here, they do have skin, just like us. And then the ticks will sit in there and basically suck on the snake's blood. So in order to get rid of external parasites, they do regularly shed their skin, and they shed it if they grow. So if a snake grows, they shed. And they do not grow according to age like us. In fact, they grow according to how much food they get. So if they eat a lot, they're gonna grow fast. If they don't eat anything, they basically don't grow at all. And they can go up for over a year without needing food, and then they will basically live from their fat reserves that they have. So they have lots of fat reserves in like the last half of the body. And if all of that fat is gone, the snake will actually start to digest its own organs. So we'll start with like the liver and even the heart. Everything will just be digested, but the membrane of those organs will still be there. So if the snake then eats like something like a frog or lizard, those vital organs will then be restored and the snake will be able to function normally again. Really crazy. This is why it's no problem for them at all to go an entire year without eating. So this one here probably mainly feeds on lizards, but also frogs, other snakes, and also like small mice. And they have back fangs. So it's like a colubrid species, just like a corn snake or even a rat snake. So they have tiny little fangs just underneath the eye, just like a bomb slug that we know here in Africa. And like all back-fanged species, the venom is called a hemotoxic venom, which means it's blood affecting. So if it bites its prey, they will succumb to the venom because they will start to bleed out of their eyes, out of their mouth. Internal bleeding will kill the prey quickly. If it bites me in my hand, for example, it will just continue to bleed and bleed and bleed out of the bite wound, but it will not kill me. As I said, it's like a bee sting basically. It has no real effect on us. First of all, we're way too big, and also our body is completely different than to that of like a mouse or even a lizard or a snake. And it's also cryptically colored and very alert. Look, very alert snake. And it's very cryptically colored. If I put it down here, you might actually confuse it with like a stick or something. So like all snakes and reptiles, they're completely secretive and it's very hard to spot them. The best things if you want to spot a snake is look out for movement and shine on scales or something that doesn't look like a stick. You see, the form is not usual. So that's what you have to look out for. Don't look for color. You have to look for like shape, reflection of the sun on the scales, or even movement, because no snake will ever be easy to see because of their color. So now the sun is coming out. It's quite a cold day, but even though we find snakes like these, we even just found the Mozambique spitting cobra slithering through here. Beautiful one, a Skaapsteker. So this snake here would actually lay eggs. They're like an egg-laying species. We call them like oviparous, and they lay between 6 and sometimes even 20 or up to 30 eggs. And interesting about this one is that the eggs will only take about 6 weeks to hatch. They are already starting to develop the babies inside the mother's body. So the shorter the time of incubation, the higher the chances of survival for a snake. Because when they're like in an egg, snakes, they don't really care about their eggs. You know, they just put them there and that's it. So predators can easily make a snack out of those eggs. So the longer the eggs are actually staying here, the worse it is for the survival rate of a species. So now I will let it go again, and that's going to be a great example on just how it will cut through the grass. These grass areas here, those landscapes, are just perfect for the Skaapsteker. So they will just slither through here looking for lizards, looking for small other reptiles, even mice and frogs to eat. And now look when I let it go. See just how it's cutting through the grass. You see that? Look at it, there we go. Now it's looking around, trying to find a way out. Oof. No, did you film that, right?